boom, play in Santa Monica the third year, obviously because I was ineligible the second.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 years down, 1 for 1. Oregon State gave me a shot. And once I got there, I didn't look back.
And what do you mean by you didn't look back? Like
I
you
didn't
started
get any
taking
more trouble. I had to take it serious.
You started to buckle down a little more.
Put school first. Put it like that. And
Okay.
it seemed like
You put school in a position
as soon as I put school first and said, okay, I'm gonna do this first, and football second, everything just fucking went smooth. And it took until I almost didn't have the opportunity to play at the next level or showcase my talent on the big stage. I didn't get it until then. Like over and over as a fucking knucklehead.
And so knowing that was about to fully slip away from your hands, that's when what made you want to straighten it up.
Yeah, straighten it up. Or my opportunity to play in general, or even make it to the NFL.
Right.
Slim to none.
What would you do if you didn't go to the NFL?
I was cheap as hell, but I would always want some nice things. I'd probably have to sell drugs or be a mule for the cartel.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to make money. It's tax free.
I did watch an interview on you, and you were talking about the circle of friends you did have growing up and how they kind of separated themselves from you.
Let me. And where I grew up in Miami during that time was the dope era, the dope boys and the cocaine. Yeah. And I would be around, but when it was going down or anything that could hamper anything as far as my career or anything going forward football wise, and they kicked me the fuck out. Just from around, just around them in general.
Why do you think that? Because usually it doesn't go
Back
that
then
way.
It was structure.
People are trying to reel you in because they don't want to see you have success without them.
It's not like that. Back then there was structure. I'm not a street dude, but there was a certain way things were done with individuals that had potential to make it out of that area. And they looked out for you. They didn't bring you in.
So how did you fully separate from that circle? Was that when you went to the NFL?
I mean, once I left for college, obviously I wasn't around it.
Yeah.
But I didn't indulge myself in that activity, though. They wouldn't fucking allow me to, even if I wanted to. You know, when you're young and you want to be cool, you want to fit in. Yeah. You want to do what the fuck everybody
let me do this,
doing.
let me do that. And they're like, so they saw your talent level and said, no, he can't.
When the lights flicker, you know, the lights when it's coming on is dimming. When the lights start flickering, they would send me home.
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool.
I heard a similar thing to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
He had a situation, like, I don't know his story. This is all like secondhand stuff, but it would be a similar thing. He would, you know, be in a bad area, and when the lights start flickering, like, you have to go home. Or if something was about to go down, they'd be like, you need to go home right now. Because I heard it was because they knew how talented he was, and he had a huge opportunity. And dudes obviously want to get out of those situations.
I mean, that's your out, man. That's it. Those environments, the surroundings that where I grew up, or there's so many stories like that. Our only way out is sports. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not a fucking academic scholar. Who the fuck am I fooling? Yeah. Not a 4.0. No, that's not me. I'm extremely smart with finances and how to handle my money. But when it comes to all that other shit, when it comes to school that you're never going to fucking use in life any goddamn way, I'm not using calculus.
No, I did that. I felt stats 3 times.
Algebra and all this. You know, I'm not an engineer or just, I don't know, man. It's weird. But, I mean, it worked out.
When you start throwing letters into math, y equals mx plus b, that's when I was like, well, the game's over for me. I think that's where I've lost the battle. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I try to instill. My son is at Arizona State now with Marvin Lewis and Herm Edwards. He plays receiver. Wow. He's a freshman. Yeah. So I try to talk to him and tell him, you know, make it easy for you. You're doing something I wasn't able to do. Mm-hmm. You actually are at a big school as a freshman, getting that experience of college that I never got.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, ASU is great. I'm from Arizona.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm from Cave Creek. Cool. But I almost went there. But after I saw the girls at Arizona State, I was like, I just can't go here.
Right,
get in trouble. So I went to the opposite. I went to Michigan. And I was like, all right.
So the girls at Michigan weren't.
Hey, it was tough sledding out there, bub. Especially when you grow up in Arizona. You grow up in Arizona, it's beach weather all the time. Everyone's going to the pool. Everybody has a pool.
Right.
So everyone's got to stay in shape. And so you're looking at 9s going, that's a, you know.
Working at Target too.
And you're like, she's all right. And then you go to Michigan and like, you're like, oh, I'll never have sex again, I guess. I guess that's over for me. And then 6 months goes by and you're like, well, I guess you're playing roulette, right? You're zipping down the North Face jacket going, please make this a real thick jacket. You know, you're hoping to God. Because you're going to put that winter coat on. And then you go back to Arizona and you're like, these girls are way out of my league now. Now your mind starts to change a little bit. So, but when I was at ASU, I went there a couple times and it was like, I was like, oh, I can't fucking go here. girls wearing bikinis in class. I was like, dude, this is fucking wild.
That's funny.
It's a different deal. But
That's funny.
Yeah, shouts to your son, man, to be able to go and do something like that.
You
I'm glad he's in that environment though, because he has Marvin. You know, obviously Marvin Lewis.
well, yeah, you got him. You probably have his number. Talk to him all the time.
Is there? He's in an NFL environment, even though he's in college. So I know they're gonna make sure and keep his head on right.
Is his talent around yours, near yours?
Not yet. You got a long way to go.
Okay, where he is now as a freshman in college, was he at that talent? Where were you guys compared to?
Right now, where he would be right now, I would be at Langston. Different skill sets, so I'm not sure. It's hard to judge.
Yeah,
different skill sets. He's a lot bigger than me.
He's bigger than you.
He's 6'3" and like solid. Mm-hmm. I'm still wiry a little bit.
Yeah,
you've always been able to run because didn't you play soccer too?
Soccer's my first love.
Right, football. Because when you got out of football, weren't you on a team? Didn't you play in a game? Like, weren't you a part of that?
Yeah, semi-pro in Miami. Boca Raton FC. Soccer's always been my first love. Obviously, I didn't have the resources to play it in Miami, but
how was soccer your first love over football?
I have no idea. That is what I gravitated as a child. You know, when you're in PE, elementary school, you go to PE and they dump all the balls out at once.
Yeah.
I gravitated to soccer ball for some reason. I just couldn't play.
Damn.
Playing soccer in the hood in the 80s. Think about it.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
Playing football in the street, not trying to hit cars.
Stop for the car. Freeze.
Yeah. Do you find yourself with all the experience you have, and obviously kids and everyone gravitates towards Chad Ochocinco because you have the facade of, having fun and doing all that stuff. Do you find yourself mentoring a lot of kids who are trying to play sports and trying to keep them on, hey, don't be, lights are flickering or going down this path or that path?
Not really. It's hard. They ain't gonna listen. You gotta learn through experience. Even though the message is coming from me, I think of me at that age and hearing someone that I look up to, and it goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
Right. Does. I mean, if I run into you, we have a talk, you ask a question, I give you my input, my opinion on what you can and can't do.
Right.
You know right from wrong anyway. I knew it back then. I listened to the people, or the people that came to talk, that look at, oh my God, that's so-and-so. One ear out the other. You remember what they said 30 minutes later. I mean, I had to learn through experience and falling on my ass and having to get back up.
Yeah.
You think it'd be easier, especially when you become a parent. I got 2 kids, and you're like, and my kids are too young, but I know I'm going to get to the point where I see what you're doing. Let me help you with this. Right. And they're going to be like, kind of fuck off.